12 News. A young girl missing and the man now behind bars in connection with her disappearance. They fought for our freedom. Tonight, local veterans returning from their trip to the nation's capital were live at PBIA with their arrival. And the trade deal between the U.S. and China falls through. How it could make a big dent in your pocket.
You're watching CBS 12 News, the one to turn to.
And good evening. As we come on the air this Saturday night, a desperate search for this missing man with Down syndrome. Last seen by his family at their West Palm Beach home days ago. We'll have much more on that in just a moment. But first, we want to get to this news. Breaking news right now in the case of a missing 4-year-old girl out of Houston, Texas. Here she is right here. Now, the stepfather of little Malia Davis, who told police she'd been abducted last weekend, is now under arrest tonight in connection with her disappearance. Police arresting Darian Vance, there he is, who had lived with Malia and her mother at his brother's home today. Police say they found blood in his apartment linked to Malia. Now, Vance told police last Saturday that men in a pickup truck abducted him, Malia, and his 2-year-old son before letting him and the boy go. But police said his story just kept changing. He's charged tonight with tampering with evidence. Malia has yet to be found. And we return now to the missing West Palm Beach man. His mom is spending Mother's Day weekend not celebrating, obviously, but searching for her son who has Down syndrome. 37-year-old Leighton Fuller. Take a good look. Last seen 2 days ago at an apartment complex near Rosemary Avenue and Banyan Boulevard. That's where he lives with his dad. His mother telling CBS 12 News no one knows where her son went because he was home alone when he walked off Thursday night.
I'm praying to God that I find him. I still have to believe without a shadow of a doubt in my mind that he's going to be found and found alive.
Let's hope so. Fuller says this is the second time in a week her son has gone missing. Last time he ended up in the hospital.
And after a fairly quiet day here across South Florida, look at this late at night and during this early part of this Sunday morning coming up. We are looking at some spotty showers popping up on radar right now for those of you in parts of St. Lucie County and also parts of Indian River County. Close in zoom up shows that we've got some brief heavy downpours across parts of Fort Pierce. We've got Angle Road there, US 1 Okeechobee Road getting wet this evening. I-95 as far west as the Turnpike and areas further off towards the west. Meantime, fairly quiet in downtown West Palm Beach with fair to partly cloudy skies. Temperature is 79 degrees. Winds are south-southeast at 7 miles per hour. Hour by hour throughout the rest of tonight for Palm Beach County. Not going to drop much, only dropping down to the mid-70s by tomorrow morning. And you can see rain chances at only about 10 or 20%. We are tracking our next weather maker, a stall front over the western U.S. This will come into Florida. The timing, the rain chances, and it looks like how hot it's going to get for Mother's Day when I come back with your 7-day forecast.
Let's hope not too hot, Michael. Thank you. New tonight, the flight of a lifetime. More than 80 veterans returning home a short time ago on an honor flight trip to our nation's capital. CBS 12's Gary Farinas live tonight at PBIA, where some of those veterans received the homecoming that they never really had. And Gary, what an emotional night it must have been.
Paul, you know, I've covered a lot of honor flight departures, but this was my first time witnessing a homecoming, and boy, was it impressive. Just take a look. A large crowd of locals came out here to PBIA to welcome the veterans and thank them for their service. People of all ages were out here holding signs, cheering, and saluting the veterans who participated in today's honor flight. Now, the veterans are from all branches of the military and served during World War II, the Korean War, and in Vietnam. The veterans who took part spent the day in Washington, D.C., where they visited memorial sites that were built to honor their service and sacrifices. We spoke with Ed Whitman, who served in the Navy during Vietnam War, and he says the entire experience was unforgettable.
It gives you goosebumps on your arms. Absolutely thrilling.
And who's here supporting you?
My lovely wife, my wife Dorothy.
She got emotional.
My son Todd. Dear friends who greeted me 50 years ago when I got in the Boston Navy Yard. My ship came back, which was the USS Boston. We came back from Vietnam, and these people were there to greet me, and they're here tonight to greet me again.
Now that is true friendship. Whitman and the other veterans got their trips fully paid for by a nonprofit called Southeast Florida Honor Flight. The honor flights from PBIA only happen 4 times a year. For now, we're live from PBIA. I'm Yaremi Farinas, CBS 12 News.
A South Florida mother spending Mother's Day weekend behind bars after deputies say she admitted leaving her newborn baby to die in a dumpster. Investigators arresting 35-year-old Rafaela Souza after finding a receipt in the dumpster that they say connected her right to the crime. Souza tonight facing attempted murder and child abuse charges. She is locked up at the Palm Beach County Jail until her next court appearance. That will take place in June. Right now, the baby is in DCF custody and not up for adoption. Officials will investigate both parents, and if parental rights are taken away, only then can the baby be adopted. Only on CBS 12 News tonight, 15 years later, a newborn left at a safe haven location, now thriving in the arms of his new family. It is an option all new mothers here in Florida have if they're considering abandoning their baby. Tonight, CBS 12's Maxine Bensel shows us how the teen and his mom are making sure mothers everywhere know they don't have to put their baby in harm's way.
I'm happy. I love my family. Couldn't be more blessed.
Christopher Terrell was just a few days old when his biological mother called the nonprofit a safe haven for newborns 24-hour crisis hotline, frightened, not knowing what to do.
My mother was young. She didn't really have a choice but to give me up at the time.
Christopher was handed over to Nick Silverio, the founder of a safe haven for newborns, no questions asked, under Florida's safe haven law. He was then placed into adoption.
The moment I saw him, you couldn't have torn him from my arms. I was in love, and that was my son.
A perfect match. Christopher and his mom, Asia, are forever thankful that Christopher's biological mother knew about Safe Haven and didn't abandon him somewhere unsafe, like a dumpster.
I am eternally grateful. She will forever be my angel.
It feels amazing to know that I was saved from infant abandonment, that, my life could have been like so much different.
Christopher is now channeling his gratitude into activism, using his voice to help eliminate infant abandonment.
There's hope for them who think that there's no hope and that there's a place to go and that there's a different path to go down other than infant abandonment.
A path that leads to a forever family.
I love my mom. She's my rock.
Maxine, 302 newborns have been saved from abandonment here in the state of Florida. Now, in Palm Beach County alone, 18 babies have been given up at safe haven locations and 6 abandoned in unsafe places. Now, there are 750 children in foster care in Florida who are currently up for adoption. Every week here on CBS 12 News, our own CBS 12 News anchor Liz Quirantes features one of those foster children in our Forever Family Report. She's been doing so for so long. If you're interested, just call 1-888-365-FAMILY or go to foreverfamily.org. Adoption from foster care is free. $6 million, that's how much a Port St. Lucie family walked away with after winning a wrongful death lawsuit this weekend. Tonight, CBS 12's Madeline Montgomery shows us why the family hopes their lawsuit will change the way people are treated in assisted living facilities.
Kathleen Menard was a resident of the Harbor Place Assisted Living Facility in Port St. Lucie. In July 2017, Menard fell while walking outside in extreme heat.
They had given her a safety pendant, where if she falls, you press the pendant to get help, and the staff are supposed to come out and help. But there was one big problem. The staff never told her that the pendant didn't work outside.
A visitor found Menard unconscious. She had suffered burns and a heat stroke. She died 87 days later. Menard's family sued Port St. Lucie retirement investors, and after over a year of legal dealings, the family found out this weekend that they won $6 million for the wrongful death of Kathleen Menard.
I'm hoping that legislation will change, and it will also change for other people so nobody ever has to go through this. This is the worst thing I've ever dealt with in my life. I will never, ever live it down.
In Palm Beach Gardens, Madeline Montgomery, CBS 12 News.
Madeline, it was a citywide crackdown. Authorities taking down illegal gambling at convenience stores in Riviera Beach. Several agencies, including Riviera Beach Police and SWAT teams, served warrants at 7 convenience stores. You can see the map right there throughout the city. Police telling us they received tips that the stores had arcade-style slot machine video games used for gambling and selling drugs. A 2-month-long investigation led to several arrest warrants. 8 of those people arrested, making their first appearance in court today. Vice President Mike Pence served as commencement speaker today at Liberty University in Virginia. He addressed the recent attacks on worshipers of all faiths.
No one should ever fear for their safety in a place of worship, and these attacks on people of faith must stop.
The vice president also speaking out about the ongoing trade dispute with China, saying the administration is going to, quote, look for ways to help farmers affected by the standoff. And a top Chinese official tonight saying that China and the U.S. will hold another round of trade talks in Beijing after negotiations this week failed to result in a deal. President Trump making good on his promise, meantime, to increase tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese imports on Friday. Take a look. China, so far, is taking a wait-and-see approach following the latest back and forth in the trade war with Washington. On Friday, the U.S. increased tariffs from 10 to 25%, all for some $200 billion worth of Chinese goods.
The trade war threatens to raise the cost of goods. Importers will pay the tariff, but they will pass that cost along to the final consumer.
Beijing has threatened countermeasures, but the day after negotiations ended with no deal, China still had yet to retaliate.
It's going to make U.S. firms less competitive, and we're going to see further retaliation.
This latest move by the U.S. in the year-long trade battle reportedly triggered after Beijing backtracked on previous agreements with the White House. The president on Saturday tweeting, such an easy way to avoid tariffs? Make or produce your goods and products in the good old USA. It's very simple.
Is it making American products more competitive? These tariffs?
Yes. While the world's 2 largest economies battle over trade, China has targeted American farmers, aiming a round of tariffs on U.S. food exports. President Trump on Friday also ordering officials to get ready to impose tariffs on more than $300 billion worth of Chinese goods, and that covers just about everything China exports here to the U.S. An environmental disaster growing in Texas after a barge crash, sending thousands of gallons of fuel into the water. And it's all about mom this weekend. The last-minute rush is on to get that perfect gift for Mother's Day. We're going to tell you what's topping the gift list this year. How about the weather, Michael?
Paul, since Wednesday, we've had a break of the afternoon thunderstorm activity here in South Florida, but that's about to come to an end. Deep tropical moisture moves in. A front comes into the area. A hot time out the rain in your neighborhood and let you know which day will be the wettest.
And here is a look right now at our Sky Team 12 drone shot of the day. In case you didn't know, video from West Palm Beach. A busy Texas waterway remains partially closed tonight. Here it is after a collision involving 4 vessels causing a toxic gasoline product to leak into the water. Authorities saying today that the hull of a 755-foot tanker punctured the storage tanks on a tugboat that was pushing 2 barges along the Houston Ship Channel. One barge capsized Friday, the other had major damage. Governor Ron DeSantis issuing his first ever veto on a bill preventing cities from banning plastic straws. The governor says the state will allow local communities to address issues like this through the political process. A number of Florida municipalities, including Delray Beach, Jupiter, Fort Myers Beach, as well as Miami Beach, have enacted ordinances prohibiting single-use plastic straws. Michael, I haven't got an idea for that.
Yeah.
Those stainless steel straws that you see me use.
Yeah, I have those sometimes too.
Why
yes.
not? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't throw them out. You reuse them.
And you know what? They're good for the environment, and then they're good for your teeth because they don't stain them. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Okay. So on to the weather, Paul. How's that sound? You're going to want to drink lots of things from a straw, Paul, because it's going to be so hot out there over the next several days. A lot of water, yes, because temperatures are going to hit the low 90s. That's part of our big weather story coming up. And storms are going to return to the coast again. Remember what happened late last week and the week before? Well, it looks like that's going to be the plan coming our way. With moisture beginning to pick up on your Sunday, deeper moisture Monday. A front comes into the area with deeper moisture yet, and that's going to squeeze the atmosphere. And the southwest to northeast steering flow will push storms towards the coast in the afternoon and evening. Then behind that, drier weather comes in for the mid part of the week. So rain chances tomorrow and Monday at 50%, 60% Tuesday, with again lower rain chances with a drier air next Wednesday and Thursday. How much rain can we expect over the next 3 days? One of the models, the European, typically the more accurate, shows anywhere from 1/2 to perhaps close to 1.5 inches in some places of our area. So, yep, get ready for the storms to unfortunately be impacting your late afternoon and evening commute once again. We do have some showers and downpours popping up late tonight here in the radar across the Treasure Coast. Sebastian down Federal Highway, Wabasso Beach getting in some quick downpours, Winter Beach, Indian River Shores. Down south into the St. Lucie County area. Heavy rain right now over Okeechobee Road in western sections of Fort Pierce. Along I-95, lighter rain in downtown Fort Pierce and some downpours right onto the coast there near the Fort Pierce Inlet. So hour by hour, that'll quiet down tonight. Tomorrow looking pretty good up until about 1 p.m., even 2 or 3, and then showers and storms pop up very quickly mid to late afternoon. They move from the inland areas to the coast. Heavy downpours, gusty winds, lightning possible 4, 5, 6, 7. And our models now showing those storms perhaps even lingering on the Treasure Coast until the mid to late part of the evening, it looks like. So hour by hour in the morning, there will be some sunshine, and that's going to quickly heat us up to about 85 degrees by about 11 o'clock. And then we're going to be reaching probably the low 90s, 91 the high tomorrow. The record's 95, so getting kind of close to it, but not quite there with scattered afternoon thunderstorm activity. Factor in the temperature with the humidity. Look at these feels like temperatures. Whew. 96 in Wellington, 96 in Boca, Jupiter 93, and Vero Beach 92. Is it summer? Not quite, but certainly feeling like it. Beach hazards, sun of course will be high, wind will be south 10 to 15, waves will be about 2 to 3 feet. And again, do watch out for those afternoon storms. If it darkens to your southwest, you're going to be getting rain soon. Partly cloudy, isolated shower at best. Tonight, your low at 75. For tomorrow, your Mother's Day, some hot sunshine in the morning up until, again, early afternoon. Then anytime after that, the chance for storms bubbling up and moving your way with high temperatures right about 90, feeling low like 95 to 100. 7-day forecast where your weekend's always in view. The high rain chances the next few days. Hot temperatures here. Now with that front coming into the area and stalling in central Florida with more storms and less sun, we're down to 88 Tuesday. A little bit of drier air comes in and perhaps we knock the temperature down a few degrees to the mid 80s with rain chances Wednesday, Thursday at 30%. Then back up to 40% next Friday and Saturday. There's your weather.
Lots of water for Mom tomorrow, right, Michael? Thank you. Look at this. A baby at Zoo Miami making its debut just in time for Mother's Day. Yes, this endangered Machis tree kangaroo from New Guinea just started to peek out of its mother's pouch. Look at this. Actually born on October 14th, but it takes several months before it's big enough to stick its head out of the pouch so you can see it. Now, it will stay there and continue to develop for the next several months before venturing away from Mom. Look at that. Wow. And right now, the last minute rush is on to get your gifts for Mother's Day. The National Retail Federation tonight saying consumers are expected to spend a total of $25 billion on Mom this year. 84% of us adults will be celebrating Mother's Day tomorrow, and here's what we plan on buying. 75% of us plan to buy greeting cards, 67% some flowers, 55% treat Mom to some type of special outing. All told, people celebrating Mother's Day will spend an average of $196 a person. And isn't Mom worth it? And we want to see your Mother's Day pictures. This picture sent to us by Kat Hoffaker. Thank you. Both Mom and daughter looking beautiful there. Just chime in by texting the word photo to 44332 or by heading to our website at cbs12.com. That's where you might see your photos on air and online. Also tomorrow, host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, talks with Jane Pauley about his chemotherapy, the crippling pain, and his determination not to miss a day of work.
This got really bad. I was on the floor writhing in pain. It went to, I went from a 3 to an 11.
Were you able to excuse yourself and then go scream and writhe in pain privately?
No, I taped the show and then I made it to the dressing room on one occasion, just barely, before I writhed in pain and cried in pain.
Inner strength. Be sure to tune in for the full interview on CBS Sunday Morning. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Coming up in sports tonight, talk about a rain delay. Yeah, hours later, though, the sun came out at the AT&T Byron Nelson Tournament. Highlights from the Lynx. And The Park Vista girls flag football team went up against Miami in the state semifinals. So who came out on top? Anna Logan with the highlights and the answers next.
South Florida Honda Sports Report.
Some people like playing in the rain, but no one likes golfing in it. And actually, you can't golf in the rain, which presented some problems today on the links. The third round of the AT&T Byron Nelson tournament was delayed for 6 hours. Crews spent a better chunk of their day actually making the course playable. And this was cute. Jordan Spieth giving a shout out to all of the moms out there on his bag. All right, first hole of the day for the Cardinal Newman grad. Brooks Koepka, only his second shot and sets up birdie to move to 12 under. Second hole, Koepka with a great tee shot here to set up another birdie. At 13 under, he's in a 7-way tie for 7th with 8 holes to go on the back 9. I told you they were a little backed up due to that rain. All right, Matt Jones had an impressive start to his day, makes the birdie putt here, and that's his 3rd straight birdie. He actually birdied 5 of the first 7 holes. He too is in that 7-way tie for 7th at 13 under. They'll continue the 3rd round tomorrow. Well, the Park Vista boys volleyball team went up against Southwest in the state semifinals today. Park Vista's Ron Clapp with the serve here, but it's tapped over for a Southwest point. Miami would end up taking the 2nd set 25-20. 3rd set, Graham Deese elevates and Southwest can't dig it out. Miami up 2-1. Moments later, big set to Miguel Espinoza for the big kill. Southwest Miami defeats Park Vista in straight sets to advance to the state final. Well, to the field now, Park Vista battling Miami in the 2A flag football semifinals today. Start of the first, 3rd and long for Miami. Jana Rodriguez connects with her receiver, but Olivia Tran pulls off her flag. Great grab by the junior there. 4th down now, and Miami is going for it, but Olivia Razzo is like, not today, not in my house. Swats the ball out of the air. Cobras with great momentum heading into their first possession. 3rd down, Carly Baldridge fires it to Olivia Razzo for the touchdown. Park Vista defeated Miami 27-6 to advance to the state championship game, but that's where they fell to Alonzo Tampa 19-9. Fullbacks are a dying breed in football, but that's exactly why the Dolphins drafted one. Former Auburn fullback Chandler Cox was selected by the Dolphins in the 7th round of this year's draft, and if you've ever seen this guy in person, you'd understand why Miami loves him. He's 6 feet tall, 243 pounds, and built like a freaking brick house. Dolphins head coach Brian Flores is excited to see what this guy can do for the organization.
What I specifically like about him was his energy, his play on the field, obviously, his toughness, his intelligence, but really his toughness, his grit. That was, to me, that's, he kind of embodied a lot of things that I love about the game.
Yeah, high praise from the coach. On Thursday, the fullback reached an agreement with the team just one day before minicamp started.
All right, Anna, thank you. Up next, it's a shot one golfer made at the AT&T Byron Nelson that'll take a lifetime to live down. Plus, a final check of your forecast. That's after the break.
The radio stations, proud partners of the CBS 12 News Network, the one to turn to.
Okay, waking up on your Mother's Day morning too. I think some sunshine out there. So if you got plans for mom in the morning, looking good. By about 2 or 3 though, showers and storms will begin to pop up and they'll last till about 7 or 8, depending where you are. And it could be locally heavy at times. Hot highs, 90 or 91 with heat indexes pushing the mid to upper 90s. And an active pattern coming our way once again, Paul, from Monday to Tuesday, where the storms push towards the coast late in the day. So that will impact the commutes on both Monday and Tuesday.
Active indeed, Michael. Thank you. All right, take a look at this. Finally, during the 2nd round of the AT&T Byron Nelson, golfer Tyler Duncan's approach on the 13th hole goes a little right of the green and hits someone right on the head. Oh, not just anybody in the crowd.
Who is that?
Just hit my wife in the head.
Hit your wife in the head. You did tell me that you guys went to the mall. She got some stuff, so maybe she forgives you. So let's try not to hit your wife and continue to go low. It's been fun to watch.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fun to watch. Oddly, Duncan says this wasn't the first time he hit his wife in the head. He's been hit in the head by a ball and gotten away relatively unscathed. We're glad to report tonight that everyone is okay.
Ouch.
That's going to do it for us tonight. See you tomorrow night at 6:30.